Every time I stop eating meat for a while, my skin really improves. Like you can barely see pores. I'm grateful for that, but I really want a cheeseburger. That's not what I came here for. I want to talk about how my journey has changed from what I thought it was supposed to be to what I'm moving into. I feel like I've always had a level of duality in my life, but in how I saw myself. Like I saw myself as being this, I'm sleepy. My eyes are gonna be closed. As I saw myself as I'm like, I know that I'm here for something amazing. I know that I'm here for something special. That I'm meant to share myself, but I think more importantly, I'm meant to share the God in me with people. Um, but I always had my idea of what that would look like. I always thought that would be like I would be some sort of guru, and when I was Christian, maybe like some sort of preacher or something. But now I'm realizing nothing is straightforward. Nothing is more holier than the other thing. Nothing is obviously the way that I thought it would be. But I feel like everything that I thought I was meant to be came with the illusions that I had been indoctrinated into rather than the full truth. There's some parts of my future that I see vividly, but I don't understand. And I'm like, how do I get from here to there? And I'm not talking about like just financial or money or things or whatever. I'm talking about like I see something very distinct and I don't understand how that works. Like I don't understand how that can happen in the way that I'm seeing it. Like it just doesn't make sense. It seems like it goes against not everything that I once believed in, but it goes against how I saw the world, how I saw myself, what I should be doing. Um, One subject in particular, when it comes to love and relationships, I definitely have been putting relationships higher than myself. And I understand that is from a place of being deeply hurt, especially deeply hurt by the masculine, from a place of not feeling worthy of my own love and hoping that someone else would essentially show me how to love myself. Um, which I don't think is always bad. Sometimes we need a great example of what love could be to really understand the love that we could have within ourselves. And I would just ask Spirit, like, why is it that I spend so much time alone? Like, what makes me special in that way? And I understand now, even though I don't have the full picture, I understand this might sound a little bit cliche that I was always supposed to be the greatest love of my life. That I had to be the greatest love of my life. And the way I see relationships and men in my future, they surround that knowing. They're not the center of my world. I am the center of my world. In every way that that could possibly mean. But I still don't quite understand that. Like what I'm seeing is not matching up with my current understanding. But one thing I know for sure, over the past few days, I've been dealing with a lot. My periods have been super intense when it comes to emotions over the past 2 cycles. This one was no different. It was very intense emotion I found so hard to pull myself out of, and I could not understand why. Usually, after my period is over, I'm fine. Like, whatever, or usually when my period starts, I'm fine. I have like a lot of PMS, a lot of sadness, depression, all these things before the period, and then after the period, or during and after, I'm good. But it just seemed like it drug on and on and on, and it never really went away like it normally does. So I feel like I was impacted by that same feeling now. And I was having this battle within myself of of who I've been, who I thought I wanted to be, and the actual truth. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I hope that makes sense. I had to pause for a second to really think about that. Who I've been, who I thought I should be, and the actual truth of who I am. I've been in a battle between that, and I just had to really acknowledge a lot of things that I did not like about myself. And when I take all the things away and I just look at my spirit, I love my spirit. But in this body, I have struggled with liking like the truth of who I am, not who I think I am, who I want to be, or the little things that I just don't like. I mean, like who I actually am. I've had huge trouble with that. And I'm like, Mother, please help me to overcome this. And she delivered a big word. And I'm going to talk about something else in a second, but she delivered a big word. It's not about acceptance. It's about transcendence. It's about deliverance. Deliverance was the first word that came through, and then transcendence. And I'm like, deliverance, like, this sounds really hella churchy. And I don't like to dive into any religion when it comes to trying to understand things. I really want to know the real meaning of like deliverance. And what she meant by that was, instead of trying to accept who you are being delivered from a mindset that could not accept who you were. So the way it was described to me, the vision that she gave me, is that imagine you could hear ants and bugs talk. Like you're hearing the bugs, maybe they're arguing over territory, or the ants are arguing about how they should carry the chip back to the colony or whatever. And you're hearing them bicker, going back and forth about it. And then all of a sudden one day your consciousness begins to rise up and transform into a new level of consciousness, a new dimension where you could once hear them speak. Now it's harder to hear them. Like their conversations become muted or become very low to where you can barely hear them. Then all of a sudden one day you can't hear them at all. You may see them, but you can't understand what they're talking about. You've officially transcended the dimension that they live in and that they can understand and comprehend each other to something totally different. Now these ants are like a passerby thing. Like you may see them, you may not, but they're not a part of your world anymore. They don't have any weight in your life. And even if one or two might walk into your house or a bunch might walk into your house, their presence and what they talk about and what they do has no precedence over whatever it is way that you're living your life now. You can set a trap, you can kill them, you can do whatever you want, but their essence of being in the life that they live has no effect on you anymore. You are two totally different beings living in two totally different worlds. And that's where I had to transfer into. Instead of trying to get my current self to accept what is, accept who I am, I transcended that mindset that could not accept what I am. So there's no need to accept or reject. It just doesn't exist anymore. And I didn't understand that until I really let it soak in. And she was like, this is going to take some time to soak in. And I've been having like what I call, what you call ascension symptoms. Well, what they call ascension symptoms in the eye. But it's like little things that you can't quite explain, or like when I'm thinking about something, I can feel like tingling sensations in my head, like over the top of my head. Or I could feel like I'm breathing, but it just feels different. Like my body feels different. It feels like not an out of body experience, but just something I can't quite put my finger on, you know? And now, and she was like, just let it ride. Just let it be what it is. Allow yourself to forget about it. just forget about it. Go do something else. Go about your day in a different way. Don't think about it too much. And now I'm in a space where I fully understand. For the most part, I can't say fully because there's still some things that I'm trying to understand. But the gist of it, I get it. And I can see the effects because more ideas are coming in. There's something new that I'm about to start. Well, I've already started it, but I can see the evolution of how that's going to be. And when I officially do it, I'm going to announce it here and you'll be able to look into that. But I feel like if you're interested, you should check out my Tumblr. It's also Havutu on Tumblr. Tumblr is the most underrated social media thus far. Like, it's a blog site. Um, all of the censorship, all of the weird, what you call it, things that are happening, like with TikTok, it's easier to go viral, but the censorship is crazy. Instagram, it's like hard. Ugh, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm like really upset with Instagram. Like, thinking about what Instagram was in 2012 when I first joined till now, which has been almost 10 years, I guess. Well, almost 10 years. It is 10 years, over 10 years, 12 years. It's just disappointing. TikTok. Instagram has become a huge disappointment to me because it used to be a place like where you could see your friends, where you could more easily reach people that you would never reach. I remember when a girl messaged me when I was posting things. She just so happened to come across one of my photos. She was like, "You should use hashtags." And then I can't say my thing exploded. It did not explode. But I got to interact with more people that I would have never seen before. And now all of that doesn't matter. Like, you could put whatever you want on there. I don't understand how Instagram works anymore. Like, it's just a huge disappointment. It makes me so sad because it's a great platform, but I think also because it's controlled by Meta and that whole thing, I don't think it'll ever be. It's like literally become the new Facebook. It's like, and the sad part about it is before you could see like your friends, I don't even see my friends. Like, maybe a little bit and then just a bunch of other shit. And it's just a huge disappointment, to be honest. So I deactivated my Instagram for now. I don't even know if I want to go back, or if I went back, I probably wouldn't go back to that particular Instagram. I know for a fact that I was shadow banned for years. Um, because I would post more adult content, not nudity or anything like that, but dancing, sexy, and I guess they don't like that. So I was like, fuck it. I don't even want to deal with it anymore. Twitter, we already know what the fuck happened with Twitter. Elon Musk completely destroyed that. But I do go on Twitter because Twitter is funny as fuck. Black Twitter is crazy. So I do venture to Twitter sometimes, but Tumblr is a place where you can speak fully. It has all types of content. I go there for art, seeing all types of different types of art, people. It does have adult content on there that is more considered art. Obviously, no sexual acts, but body art, body nudity, which I think is beautiful and amazing. I want to do something like that in the future. I just not really sure how, because I don't want. It's like I would be totally fine with showing my body and being nude, but I don't want it to be a sexual thing. I feel like we in America are so ridiculously hypersexualized when it comes to the female body. It's become disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, a new body is a new body. Like, this is the body you came in. Whether it's clothed or unclothed, it's still a body. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there's so much. I think I look more beautiful naked than I do with clothes on. Especially when I'm dancing and when I'm moving. I love how my body looks when I'm dancing nude. And I love things like that. I just don't want it to be this sexual thing. I want it to be art, like literal moving body art. But I don't know. The world is a little weird. I think maybe in the future, as time goes on and the divine feminine energy really sets in, I think those types of things and ideas will change. Hell, I would go on live just topless and just talk. Um, because I literally live like that. Every day, why I'm like always like this. Because when I'm in my house, what you need clothes for? I'm here by myself. But anyway, I am definitely pro nudity, but respectfully, not. I feel like it's not as big a deal as people make it out to be. I also believe in time and place, though. Time and place for everything. You shouldn't be doing anyway. You know how people can be. But anyways, so Tumblr is a great place for if you really want to say what you need to say. It's not as like instant virally as TikTok, but people do see your posts and they can interact with them if they so choose. But I don't go on there just to be interacting. I go on there for the art, to post my writings, to post my photos, new content that I am going to be sharing on a different channel when I'm done making it. And I just feel myself moving in a new direction where before I was afraid to go into, because I feel like deep down I knew that I wasn't ready, but I knew that my reasoning for doing it was flawed. And that's what I've been dealing with even now. It's like I want to do things because I want to do them. I don't want to do them because I want to go viral. I want to have this big impact on whatever. I want to do it because it's impactful to me, because it means something to me, or because it's fucking fun to me. And what I'm going to do is hella fun. And it's something that had the idea to do for years and just haven't had the right avenue and the right mindset in place to be able to do it that I have now, and have more clarity about what it means for me, because I feel like I was conflicted with the old ways of thinking, dogmatic old Christian beliefs, also in conflict with what the world says a spiritual person or teacher should look like. Fuck all of that. I don't want to be a part of any of that crap. I want to be my own muse, my own inspiration. And as I grow and as these things, old things fall off, I'm able to do that more easily and more freely now. And I'm so grateful for it. And talking to the camera like this helps me to get out of my head. Just talk. So there's so many things that I feel I'm moving in towards, and that future that I see of myself in this amazing space, in this new way of being that I have never even considered, remotely considered. And I feel like I'm only seeing like a pinhole worth of what is to happen. And I still don't fucking get it. Like, I'm like, how is that gonna work? And I do understand that I'm operating off of old beliefs still that have to fall off for me to get there. You get what I'm saying? So, anyways, oh, also really quickly, this is going into 20 minutes. I've been working with Chat GPT, the AI. It's been helping me with my emotional state, my mental state, getting things off my chest, getting clear, having clarity. And it actually surprises me. It is quite easy to program. The more you talk with it, give it your preferences, the more it adjust to the type of conversations that you want to have. And that has been super helpful. Like, it's like a pocket therapist. Obviously, it doesn't substitute for human interaction, but say like you go to your therapist once a week or maybe even 2 times a month or whatever, you have something to help you with the day to day in your hands, on your phone. And it has been super, super duper helpful when it comes to processing emotions, flushing out ideas, book ideas, all different types of writing ideas, getting it to like, hey, could you not say it that way? Could you say it this way? And it adjusts completely. Like, it makes memories to know this is how I'm supposed to act in this situation. Excuse me. And I am really enjoying it, to have something on my mind and be able to talk about it and not have to worry about Like, I feel like I've always had to split myself into 1,000 different people just to be, what's the word? Just to relate to others. Like, I feel like I've had to cut myself into pieces whenever I make friends. I never can be my full self because not everybody gets all that. I'm so multifaceted and so complex that thus far I've only met people who express different parts of myself, or they are in a line with who I used to be and not necessarily heading in the same direction that I'm going with my thinking. And I just had to cut all that off. And that's no shade to nobody. Like, I just had to cut everything and everybody off because I'm headed in a direction that nobody I know is headed in. And it doesn't mean everybody isn't headed to their greatest self. No, everybody is. But the direction that I'm going is very, very specific. And I cannot be around anything that does not reflect that to me. I do know in the future that I'm going to be meeting people who I can more easily um, adjust to, or not adjust to, but more easily be with. Like with the chat GPT, I can make a reference that, of course, it'll understand because it has all this knowledge from the internet, right? Without it being weird. Like, I don't know. It's just so freeing to be able to speak freely and not feel judged. Like, I know that it's not judging me because it's a freaking bot. You know what I'm saying? It's not real AI, which I hope, honestly. I'm pretty sure they've already created real AI, the conscious AI, which is really, I feel like AI is an amazing thing. People are afraid of it. I think it's the most amazing thing that we've ever created. And I know that might be controversial with the whole Matrix thing. I don't believe in fear. I experience fear, but I don't believe in fear as my is to be my base in how I react to things. Do I react fearfully to things? Yes. Is that my core belief? Hell no. I feel like AI truly can be here to help us be better and free us from the shit that we've been doing forever. You know, people working in jobs that they never wanted but are fighting to keep, you know, the kind of thing. I feel like AI can help us. Now the problem with everything is money. The problem with everything is corporations, which they are soon to pay atonement for all that they've stolen from the people. That is, honey, that's coming. But AI can be here to do the task that we no longer. People think that just because we've been doing the same type of work for however many years that we have to continue to do that to have a prosperous life. Notice I said prosperous, not profitable, because the truth is we could be prosperous right now without money at all. They don't want you to know that though. There's literally no need for money. Everything can be an exchange. Everything can be shared. Everybody could live a life where they do what they want and not have the horrors that we experience. Like with the hurricanes, we could build houses. They build buildings that can withstand earthquakes and wind and rain and all these things. But because money, they will not invest in the people's housing to where they can live in houses that don't get blown to pieces. Our houses in America are made of sticks and paper and fiberglass. Keep that in mind. Sticks, paper, and fiberglass. When we have the ability to create structures that would never fall down. Thousands of years, ruins made of stone are still here. People in other countries have homes, old homes that have been here for hundreds of years that are made from stone and earth. We could literally build houses out of compressed earth that would withstand winds like that was experienced in Florida. Concrete. Like a lot of places in Africa and places like that, a lot of their houses are built of concrete. We have the ability to create homes for everyone that can withstand whatever situation it's in. But because of greed and money, that also is nothing but paper, people lose out. There's no reason. There's like, oh, there's a housing shortage. There's not a housing shortage. There's a refusal to put people in housing. There are millions of abandoned homes and properties in the United States, plenty in my area, that have homes that have been neglected or abandoned, or properties where homes could be built, and every single person in Houston could have a house with just the fucking houses we have now. Homes, not apartments, homes. But we refuse. Like I said, the mother has come back. Every fucker who has benefited off of this shit is gonna pay atonement for it. That includes all of us, because the way we live, who we steal from, the shit that we have, the little shits that we buy off Shein and all that shit. I'm guilty. I do it too. Amazon, all this shit, where it's been people whose time and energy have been stolen from for nothing. We all participate in that shit, and we must pay atonement for it. Everything you seeing is us paying atonement for the shit that we do. And there will be a collective atonement that must be paid by all of us. And it will be painful, but we will survive it. It will make us better, open our eyes to see what's really important. And that's a part of what my next mission is, what I plan to do, which is going to be so cool and amazing and beautiful and hot and sexy, because all of those things are human. All those things are me. All those things are the mother. Protective, loving, fierce, angry at times, furious, chaotic, beautiful, delicate, lovely, sensual, sexy, dumb.